I've been thinking about the Grift economy recently and how easy it is to fool people in this day and age and how easy it is to take advantage of people. And from a designer point of view, to me, it seems like there's a little bit of a crisis of legitimacy. And, basically, how do you know that someone who's selling you something or, communicating with you is legitimate? It's become a huge question with AI and all other sources of information like that, fake news, etc. But from a design point of view, I think that it's an interesting challenge. And I'm going to propose some way that designers might be able to contribute to a solution. So just a little bit of history as I was thinking about this. I think that, obviously there's been issues of legitimacy or some sort of like validation throughout time, like hallmarks on silver is an example of back in the day when it was, it had to be like legitimized, that it was quality. And then, in the time since then, badges, seals, like seals of approval, like, various entities that have been created with a badge. I think most designers are pretty familiar with all the badges that we put on things to make them legitimate, but, it actually does serve a purpose looking at it from this sort of crisis of legitimacy that's occurring right now. Something that I was starting to research, and I saw a 2011 Salon article by Stephen Heller, if that's not a flashback for you. You haven't been in design that long, but check it out. It's still on Salon, and it's an article about should designers sign their work. And I would like to propose that going forward, designers should sign their work. I would like to say this, in the best case, a designer will add value to a communication. They can, let's say the sort of best designers will actually increase the value of whatever product they're selling. I think in the past it's been sort of thought of as the product needs to be front and center, and the designer is just sort of the, clear vessel through which it's communicated. But I think that actually knowing the designer, knowing the legitimacy behind it, seeing their signature on it, Paul Rand was, signed his work, a bunch of the other sort of earliest 20th century artists did the same thing, all the way into the 21st century for I guess the last 100, 200 years, it's been